What's up, everyone? There's my dog. Well, today we are going to be making some Chipotle meal prep. And fun fact, I used to work at Chipotle actually in high school and a little bit of college for a few years. So everything you're seeing here is gonna be relatively close to how Chipotle does do it. Now, of course, there are some pre-marinated ingredients that I'm gonna miss, but yeah, let's get to it. It's gonna be a simple bowl with chicken or your preference of steak. I'm using a skirt. Chipotle uses like round cuts, so this will be definitely better. It's not chicken thighs, but breasts. I forgot. I accidentally grabbed the breasts. But it can still work. Just will be a little healthier and probably a little less yummy because I think thighs are better. It's gonna be these meats: mild salsa, cilantro, lime white rice, a guac, which I'll show in another video, and what else? Some pinto beans, a little lettuce and cheese. All right, so we're gonna start by first prepping our chicken. Ideally, you're gonna want this chicken to cook for or marinate for a few hours. Let's say at least 2. Ideally overnight, so that the marinade really gets in there. Now, I don't do that whole typical washing your meat. So sorry if you guys think that's gross, but I do pat it down and dry it off a little bit. And I want the marinade to penetrate this a little bit more, even before I cook it. So I'm just gonna butterfly it before we continue. So with these, I'm just gonna toss them in here. So really quickly, the ingredients will be listed. But it's just gonna be a little onion powder. This is key. If you forget anything else, make sure you get Chipotle's pepper and adobo sauce, La Costeña. Adobo is the primary marinade of the Chipotle chicken. So everything else is just gonna be like a combination of paprika, some random chilies, cayenne. You can be the master of your own kitchen and do whatever you want. But I will say, you better get that adobo sauce, because that's really where all the flavor is going to come from in this recipe for the meats. Okay. It says hot picante, but it's really not. This one's just smoky. So already it's looking fabulous. A little cumin, really not much. You don't have to go crazy with this. A little goes a long way. Okay. And oregano. If you can find Mexican oregano, that's a little better, but oregano will be just fine. Chipotle definitely uses a lot of oregano. And garlic. I got a little lazy, so I got the peeled garlic. Whatever. It's fine. That was an ugly tear. Anyway, you know what? So I don't cross-contaminate and have to wash my hands again, I'm gonna just put a little bit of this in there first before we go on. So this is around 2 pounds. This can says 7 servings, a little over half the can. Because again, I have steak that I'm gonna do with this as well. So let's just get that in there. Again, these are pretty hot, FYI. It really does have a slow heat that grows. If you really want to be fancy, you could blend this up ahead of time. I am just gonna rip it apart with my hands. All this really needs after this is gonna be just salt and pepper to taste. So boom. Boom. This looks like a lot, but it's really not because it's a lot of pounds, and I'm like doing like the Salt Bae sprinkle, kind of not really. Again, just do it to your preference. You really don't need that much. Most of that flavor is going to be coming from that adobo sauce. And then I get my hands kind of messy and get in there. And actually, right before I do, one last thing. I'm gonna put a little avocado oil in here. Avocado's got a high smoke point, but I really just need a binder to help bring these all together. So like maybe like that was like probably 2 tablespoons, maybe a tablespoon and a half. Just enough to bind it together. I'm gonna just cover this for now. Don't want anything to oxidize further. So for the steak, I'm gonna keep this even more simple. Again, this is a beef skirt steak. Chipotle uses like ground and all this other stuff. Not that yummy. No. Okay. This really does look like a lot, but it's not. I'm like really sprinkling it slow. Slow and minimally. All right. So we got salt. I'm gonna chill out with the pepper. I primarily wanted to get this onion powder, minimal oregano, and really that adobo again to finish that off. And that adobo, I'm gonna just put that when I put it in the pan. So we got our onion powder. Let's get a little oregano. Let's get this working. So similar to before, gonna break up those peppers and mix that right in. Oh! I just popped it all over me. Not good. Really not good. Well, now I'm a mess. Alright, I'm clean. Changed my shirt. And again, I'm gonna just put a little oil in here, not much. Okay. It's probably like a tablespoon. Let that get in there a bit. I'm not gonna touch it again for cross-contamination. Better trademark this word because I keep saying it so much. Cross-contamination. Alright, so next, we're gonna start prepping the rice. The rice that's gonna be used for this recipe, generally for Chipotle, I like using it's usually a long grain rice. So I'm just using this long grain white rice, which happens to be basmati. I would say like basmati or jasmine, that all is great. I just did about like half the bag. What does that end up being like? This is gonna be a lot of rice actually. This is probably good enough for like 6 to 8 servings. Please make sure to wash your rice. It's really nasty when people don't wash it, just because it just comes straight from the field. You want to wash it until the water runs clear. Here's the technique. So make sure your rice is like flat, and when it's flat and even under the water, you put your hand down, and if the water comes up a little bit higher than your middle knuckle, the water level, right? If it comes up a little higher than the middle knuckle, that means it's just about perfect. Right now it needs a little bit more. Now again, this is like for brown rice. This is for white rice. A rule of thumb, or a rule of middle finger. I don't know. Sorry, that was kind of a dad joke. But if it comes slightly above your middle finger, like that, you'll get the perfect rice. See, even here, that's a little too much. So I'm gonna dump a little bit, and then it should be perfect, because Chipotle rice should not be all mushy and sticking together. It should be just fluffy enough where it's not sticking all together, but at the same time, like, and like all the individual grains can be like kind of have that mouthfeel taste, but it's, you know, still there. At the restaurants, they actually put a little oil in the rice cooker as well. But I don't want to put oil in there because it's just unnecessary, honestly. So you can just put the long grain rice and then put it in your rice cooker and just cook it. You can put a bay leaf in as well. I don't have any bay leaves right now, but that works perfectly. So just the rice and then get that going. Okay. Alrighty, let's get started. So, mild salsa. Obviously, you need tomatoes. Okay. Alright, so one set of tomatoes done. I'm not going to do the other ones today. Keep moving. Let's get this cilantro chopped up. Oh yeah, I forgot. A lot of you guys, some people don't like cilantro, right? I guess do everything in this recipe without it. It's weird. A lot of people in my family actually, it's like almost 50-50, like liking cilantro, not liking it. I think I heard there was some kind of like taste bud or something that makes it taste more soapy to people. Thankfully, I like cilantro, and cilantro goes on like everything in Chipotle. So that was like one bundle. Like cilantro, like about this amount should be good. Okay. So we got cilantro in here. Oh, no, Tuco. You don't even like cilantro. I tried to give it to you before. Alright. Get this onion going here. White or red onion, doesn't matter. And the juice of a lime. I love lime juice. This aroma is dominant. And flavor is dominant on everything there. I'm actually going pretty OD with the lime juice right now, but it's so good. Just keeps everything fresh. Okay. It's mild, right? The sauce is mild for sure, but there's still some jalapeno that goes in here. I mean, come on, it's Chipotle. This is mine. That's actually a decent amount of jalapenos. Great. Now you just put in a little salt. Mix it up. Woo! Super limey, super good. All right, mild salsa done. So let's cook the meat. Let's get this cast iron hot. Get ready. Okay. And at the same time, we'll get these pinto beans going. salt, a little pepper. I'm gonna put just a little lime juice. Let's keep that theme going. And you know what? I'm gonna throw in some jalapenos in there too. This is completely optional. I just like spicy. Just a little onion powder. Oregano. And this Mexican Fiesta seasoning. Woo! That Mexican Fiesta thing is just a mix of, like, again, chilies, tomato, and cumin. But I just want a little more spice and seasoning in this thing. To help it all really come together, just a drop of oil. Burn. And at the same time, this pan is piping hot now. And drop my oil in here. Get the fan on a bit. And let's get ready to cook these chicken breasts. And then just let it work. Now in the meantime, this is when you gotta multitask a little bit. The cilantro lime rice is done. Here you can see this perfect rice texture right here. Boom. See that? It's fluffy, it's light. Now, wipe that off here. What we are going to do, I'm gonna turn this off because this is pretty much good. And at the same time, I'm going to pull this rice out into this large container here. Let's get this rice and lime juice action going. Okay, some lime juice. Lime juice. More lime juice. Ooh. Okay, so let's keep moving. Let's flip this chicken and see how it's coming along. Ooh-wee. Oh my gosh. It's got a beautiful char. Alright, let's keep this moving. So, got our lime juice in the rice. Got the rest of the cilantro here that we're going to use for this rice. You could probably use parsley or whatever. But I don't know if cilantro haters then generally don't like parsley either. But anyways. Okay, cool. Boom. And a little salt. A little salt to taste. Alright. Now let's give that a little spin. That perfect texture. That's what I like to see here. Alright, so my camera got low on battery, so I had to finish the chicken without the camera. But here it is. I let it rest for about 10 minutes. It looks beautiful. The chicken's ready, and now it's time for the steak. Steak time. Chicken's still very hot as well, just letting the juices come back in. If you cut the chicken too early, the juices just spill out. And especially this being chicken breast and a lot leaner, definitely don't want that to happen. And it's hot enough, so I'm just gonna begin. That's what you want to hear. I didn't get bell peppers, but Similarly, you would just do long cuts down and then just simply toss it. But we toss it with oregano and chipotle and some salt. In this case, it's just gonna be the seasoning and the juices from the steak, which is fine. Chipotle cooks their steak medium rare, so I'm gonna try to shoot for that as well. This side should be good. Perfect. They cook it medium rare and then they let it sit on the heater. So it usually ends up being pretty well done the longer it stays on there. But it always comes out medium rare. So great. Steak's looking really good. Well rested. Let's get this party started. Let's taste. Whoa. Damn, that's really good. Alright. Let's just get this turned off. I'm gonna flip it one more time. But this looks about actually medium rare to medium at, so it's about good. To get this steak resting right here. Boom, baby. Steak fajitas, baby. Steak fajitas, baby. Didn't forget about these beans. These have had a long time to sit here and stew up a bit. Let's let that rest a bit, shall we? Alright. So the steak's been resting for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh. What do you know about steak fajitas? Comes together perfectly. Oh my gosh. So there it is, everyone. Fajita steak, Chipotle style. Let's assemble this bowl. Our rice. This beautiful steak. I'm gonna grab some of that chicken as well. Mild. All that lime juice and tomato juice. Guac. Just a little bit on the side. Baby butter lettuce. Just a little cheese. Or typically it's Monterey Jack. But what I have here is just Gouda. That should do. A little more guac on top So thanks everyone for watching. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. I'm gonna finish my lunch. Chipotle, easy meal prep. Done.